Hey guys, I promised you a meetup with my friend Saskwatch today. He's really shy, and when people are around, he freezes up, so he's not going to talk to us. And he's social distancing, so I'm 6 feet away from him. I want you to know I first met Saskwatch when I was out in Seattle. You can see him there. Debbie and I were out hiking around Mount Rainier, and we came up to the man. Wendy, sorry. We didn't even know he was there till later when we got our pictures and looked at him on our camera. Found out that he was actually up there, which is cool, don't you think? And then he shows up here. So hey, I'm going to go in where it's not as windy. We'll catch up in there.
Well, all right, there you go, my buddy Saskwatch. You know, when we started hiking Mount Rainier that day, that was kind of the point. We wanted to find the man. And man, we went all over the place. There was snow on the ground still, and we were probably about 2/3 to 3/4 of the way up the mountain, not far from the Paradise Point, if you know where that's at. And we found tracks, big, huge, honking, gorilla-sized tracks. But we never saw Saskwatch while we were out there. Just lots of indications that maybe he was around. Kind of gave me a chill up my spine, really, wondering if maybe while we were tracking him, he was tracking us. I think he was. How else would he manage to have gotten into that photograph that you saw? And I never even saw it. A friend pointed that out to me. You know, Sasquatch is having kind of a resurgence on commercials lately. Have you noticed that? He's popping up and appearing in a few places. I have it on good authority that's not the real Sasquatch. See, you saw Sasquatch, and he freezes up around people. Did you notice he was giving me the evil eye? He didn't like me being that close, really. He was uncomfortable, but he knew it was for a good cause. So he let me video him, which is very rare, very rare. But I don't buy into all those commercials. And it's like this, the things that scare us the most seem to be the things that we're not sure about, the things that we don't understand, or maybe we're not even sure that they're real. I remember when I was a kid, there was a noise that would occur in our home after we all went to bed several times a week. Remember those old Super Balls? I don't know, maybe they still have them, probably they do. You'd drop them and they'd bounce high and then slowly lower. So when they would bounce, eventually it would be like boom, 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 boom. Good imitation there, huh? That's what the noise was like. It was like somebody was upstairs. It was a one-story house, but somebody was like in the attic dropping a super ball on the ceiling, the top side of the ceiling. We never figured out what it was. I heard it, my brother heard it, my parents heard it, and my dad was a tough guy, I mean, solid as a rock, but it got his attention. He was a little worried about going up there in the attic. You know, there was another time when I was just growing up. I lived in a house where the backyard adjoined a huge field, acres and acres and acres, literally hundreds of acres. And in the middle of that was a radio booster tower for WLS radio out of Chicago. And it was one of these big, clear channel stations where there was no other station in the country that was on the same channel. So when they would broadcast with their 50,000 watts, you could pick it up in the Rocky Mountains at night when the atmospheric conditions were right. I remember listening to it at night in Arkansas when my family would be down there on vacation. And one time when I was a little kid, my brother and I woke up, it was summer vacation, and we went into the kitchen and toasted our Pop-Tarts, and we heard the radio playing. WLS was playing in our home. Dad was at work, Mom was still in bed, and we tracked it to the heating duct in the dining room. And so we knew it was coming from under the house. Turns out that earlier in the morning, my mom and dad had been up and they heard that same radio, and on it they heard the news, and in the news they said that somebody had escaped overnight from the penitentiary in Stateville, 13 miles from our home. And they said, maybe he's in our crawl space. And Dad said, you want me to go look? And my mom said, you want to get your head shot off? And Dad said, no, and he went to work. I told you he was thick and strong. I didn't tell you he was brave. He was, but he went to work and left his wife to run back and literally pull the covers up over her head. So when Jim and I got up, my brother and I, we were dumb enough to just go pop into the house and see what was going on. There was no one there. It turned out that it happened repeatedly over the years, and the power from that station was so strong that the metal heat ducts would pick it up and it would broadcast in our house. I had other friends who got it on their phone and a lady who got it on her mixer. But the scary thing was not knowing what was under the house. Was there somebody in there who had escaped from prison? Not knowing what was in the attic, dropping that Super Ball, never found out. Some people wonder about Saskwatch. Is he real? Is he out there? Do I have to worry about him? What is it in the night that's after me? It's what you don't know that scares you the most. You kind of feel that way today, maybe, with COVID-19. Am I going to get it? If I touch that cardboard box, is there a germ on it? Or that door handle? Or that shopping cart? What can I do and what can't I do? Is it here? Is it in this room? If I take another breath, will I get it? That's the scary part, not knowing and trying to be so careful. There's an antidote for that. And you see, it's not really faith. We talk about faith versus fear. And yes, faith is huge, but it's not faith in itself. It's what you have faith or who you have faith in. Faith for faith's sake means nothing. What matters is where your faith is placed. Who do you have faith in? I can have faith that this hooded sweatshirt is going to protect me from getting sick, and it's not. It's just going to keep me warm. But I can have faith in it, so my faith will save me, right? No. You're saved by the one you have faith in. But it requires faith to get to him, to access him, though he's already gone more than halfway to access you. So we can avoid the fear and the anxiety by having faith, but faith in the right person. Verse 14 in Psalm 91 tells us where to put our faith. The Lord says, I will rescue those who love me. I will protect those who trust in my name. Your faith belongs in the Lord. Your faith should be in him, directed toward him. You should be clinging to him because he wants to cling to you. And once he clings to you through that act of salvation in your life, he'll never let you go. You don't have to worry anymore. Is there a Saskwatch? What do you think? Is there a COVID-19? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I know people with it. But is there a God who saves his people? Is there a God who protects his people? And even if they get COVID-19, sees them through to the other side? Absolutely there is. And that's where we put our faith. That's who we cling to. The Lord says, I will rescue those who love me. I will protect those who trust in my name. Guys, let's do that today. Let's do that in every area of our lives. God is doing a special work. God is doing something new in our day. And he's doing it through the most unlikely event, a pandemic. But let's direct our faith to the Lord Jesus Christ and count on him and see if he sees us through. He'll prove himself strong and faithful. Let me pray for you. Father, my friends today, many of them have something that's causing anxiety in their lives and fear. I go through that myself, but you've taught me to turn to you and to cast all of my cares upon you. And when I do, Father, the peace of God, which passes all understanding, keeps my heart and my mind in Christ Jesus, just like you taught us in Philippians 4. Thank you. Lord, I pray for my friends today, for grace, for peace, and for protection, for your hand to be on them, and for them to know your love today. In Jesus' name, amen. Guys, stand strong. Stand strong. Put your faith in the right place. God's going to work. See you tomorrow.